darlings, how are you? I hope that you are doing amazing. It's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So for today, we are getting right into this and we are asking the question, why do people fall for you? So this is going to be talking about positive attributes, what people find beautiful about you in general. This is a gender neutral reading as well. So we are going to be using they, them pronouns as well, but we're also going to obviously be referring to divine masculine and divine feminine, but remember that is something that is very fluid as well. So I just wanted to address that right off the bat, so everyone is welcome, and not just on this reading, but every reading that I do as well. I try to keep them very, very neutral, but I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health, and let's just kind of dive right into this. So we have 4 beautiful piles here in front of us. Stack 1, stack 2, stack 3, and stack 4. Now you can choose based off of the energy of the pile, the number of the pile, or the items associated with each stack. What I would like you to do as we look at these piles is just to ask yourself the question, why do people fall for me, right? So for stack 1, we have the purple color card with the purple bow and the obsidian crystal. For stack 2, we have the clear quartz crystal with the yellow color card and the yellow bow. For stack 3, we have the lapis lazuli crystal with the blue color card and the blue bow. It's kind of like a light powdery blue, like a baby blue almost. It's really gorgeous. And then for stack 3, we have this, I think it's a smoky quartz crystal. I'm not too sure. But that's what we're going to call it today, smoky quartz. And then we also have the pink bow with the pink, white, and blue color cards. So I will give you guys a few seconds to choose. Again, you can choose just one or multiples, but I will see you at your picks. Hello to everyone who picked stack 1. Let's get right into your reading and see why do people fall for you. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the obsidian crystal. There's definitely this energy of you being very protective of the people that you love, friends, family members, neighbors, whatever that might be. You're just very protective, and there's nothing you wouldn't do for the people you love. I keep hearing ain't no mountain high enough, right? I feel like you guys would travel any distance as well to be with the people that you love, and that's something that people find very admirable and very attractive about you guys. Now, you're also incredibly loyal too, and that's another aspect that people really fall very quick, kind of in love with you for. You know, I feel like you guys have a lot of admirers and a lot of people crushing on you, because for some of you guys, you are the mom or dad friend, the person who's very mature, the person who holds themselves in a really high regard. You know, it's not to say that you're full of yourselves, but you know your worth, and I also feel like you inspire others to know their worths as well, and that's a really beautiful aspect of you. I feel like you guys are very healthy in every friend group you're in, because you're just very beneficial in general. It's almost as if every single friend group that you go to, you water them and you nourish them, and then you go on to the next one. It's almost as if you guys are always traveling or you're always on the go. You know, maybe you guys have a lot of different friend groups in general, and that's something that people find very attractive about as well, is the fact that you can blend in just about anywhere. For some of you guys, maybe you even have like a chameleon spirit animal, maybe you literally have a chameleon, but there's definitely this kind of understanding about you and this patience as well that people really love. Now, you're also kind of ride or die and very loyal too. to where I feel like you're one and done. So maybe you guys like to take your time in regards to a relationship. You like to take it very meticulously, and that's another thing that people really love about you. So why else do people fall for you? Dolphin, beautiful. Okay, so people really love that fun-loving energy that you hold. They see you as someone who's very joyous, as very fun-loving, very connected with your inner child as well. You're someone who understands how to have a good time, how to play hard, but also how to work hard too. So it's not to say that you're immature or that you're constantly in your inner child, but I feel like they love the fact that you can, from 9 to 5, be this adult, you know, who's like taking on the corporate world, and then at night you're going to like Dave and Buster's and you're having a good time in the arcade, right? There's just this energy of duality and really balancing this maturity with also the childlike side, the fun, the laughter, the kindness. I feel like you guys are also very good with children. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some teachers in this pile. If you guys are teachers, professors, instructors of some kind, maybe even ballet instructors as well. For some of you guys, maybe you're like those dolphins as well that are like at Wikiwashi, or maybe that's where you want to go. I think I just pronounced that totally wrong. But there's definitely this energy of you guys wanting to go towards your goals and achieving them at the same time. And that's something that people find very attractive about you. It's almost as if nothing can hold you back. But for some of you guys as well, I feel like you're very proud of yourself. And remember how I said earlier that you know your worth and you hold yourself in a high regard? I feel like that's your energy, that you're just sort of like, no, I'm not lowering myself down to a level that is beneath me. I'm not lowering myself down to individuals that are beneath me either. I'm vibing high. I'm beautiful. I'm kind. I'm respectful. You know, and I feel like you tend to respect others, but you tend to respect yourself more, right? And it's not to say it's a bad thing, but I feel like that's after many, many years of maybe not putting yourself first, or not loving yourself, or not caring about yourself. And there's this energy of finally stepping forward and stepping up and saying, no, I am all that in a bag of chips. I am gorgeous on the inside and out, and I am intelligent as well. So going forward, I also want to say with Dolphin too, with the rainbow right here, I feel like some of you guys might be in the LGBTQ plus community as well. So maybe you guys are very comfortable with your sexuality. You guys are really comfortable with who you are as well. And that is so awesome. I feel like some of you guys too, maybe for a long time, it was really intimidating to be able to just open up and be like, this is me, this is who I am. Some of you guys might also have disabilities as well. So maybe that's something that you have also had to kind of fight with too. You know, it's almost as if you had to go out there and keep pushing yourself every single day, but you did it, and you did an amazing job of it too, and I'm so proud of you. You know, honestly, I feel like you guys are just achieving brand new heights in your life that maybe you didn't even think could be achievable. Some of you guys as well are very short as well in stature, and that's something that people find very attractive. Also, for the guys that are watching this as well, I feel like people view you as fun-sized, so it's not necessarily a bad thing that you're short or that you're on the shorter side, because people see that as something that's very cute and very sweet, right? Almost like a candy, like a fun-sized candy. And I just feel like that's something that people really fall in love with you very fast for, right? Now, going forward, again, I feel like you're just someone who's very happy, very kind, and very patient too. Now, also really quick with dolphins, they like to travel in pods, and I feel like you're someone who's very family and friend oriented. So you love to spend time with your family and friends. You love to spend time with the people that you hold dearest to yourself, right? Now we also have number 6, Archangel Jophiel. Yes, and Archangel Jophiel, she sees the beauty in everything. She is the Archangel of beauty, all things beautiful, all things lovely in the world. Isn't she lovely? And I feel like that's how people talk about you. Aren't they lovely? Aren't they incredible? Aren't they a gift from just the heavens, right? And I feel like that's you guys' energy. But again, very fun-loving, very inspirational, very kind, very much a role model as well. And that might be something that kind of takes you guys by surprise for some of you, because maybe you never thought of yourself as someone who could be a role model or someone who could inspire others. But here you are. You're out here, right? Now, I also feel like with the butterflies too, you have been through your own transformations. You've been through your own trials and tribulations, but you have grown from it as well. Now, I also feel like with the number 6, again, talking about generosity, you're someone who's very generous. I keep hearing, and now I come to you with open arms, you know, so I feel like you guys really just open up your arms and let anyone come to you. Maybe you give really awesome hugs as well. Maybe growing up, you just love to give everyone, like at your school or your high school or your middle school, big hugs. There's just this energy of you being very open and vivacious and loving and warm, compassionate, wanting to connect with others, wanting to understand others, wanting to have that one-on-one time as well. I just feel like that's very important for you guys. Now, we also have number 37, friendship. Yes, so you guys are incredible friends. You've got a friend in me. And that's something that's very attractive. It keeps kind of ringing in my ears, but when Prince William, is it Prince William? I think it is. William and Kate. There we go. I was like, what? But when Prince William and Kate got engaged originally, there was a joke kind of going around, and a joke going around in the royal family as well, that called her Waity Katie. And it was because she waited for so long. They dated for like, it was 8 to 10 years. It was a really long span of time. But it was so then that way they could both get to know each other and they could understand each other. They could be friends first. And I really feel like that's you guys' energy, you know, is that you want to be friends with your partner first. You don't mind waiting 8, 10, 20 years, you know, as long as you know that the person is going to still be there, you know that person is going to be your best friend at the end of the day as well. You know, and I feel like, honestly, that's something that people find very attractive as well, is that you're willing to wait for what you want. I keep hearing, wait for it. Some of you guys might also be theater fans, too. Maybe you're really into, like, Hamilton. But going forward, we have Mother Earth, Traveler, and Snake. Beautiful. So, Snake, shed old skin. Again, you have been through a lot of transformations. You've been through a lot of cycles ending as well. And it hasn't always been easy, but it has always made you into a more mature individual and someone who is even more grown, someone who is able to connect with others a lot easier too. Now also with Snake, I feel like you guys, you really love to almost challenge yourselves, where it's almost as if you want to be better than you were yesterday. I keep hearing stronger than yesterday. It's nothing but my way, right? So I feel like you guys are really starting to honor yourselves and trust yourselves more. Know that you can do it. Know that you can push yourself forward as well. Some of you guys really love to sing. You love to dance. You're very creative. You know, you love drumming on things as well. Very expressive energy. Also with the purple, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are indigo children too. So that means you guys are highly sensitive, natural born leaders. And I feel like that's something that causes you guys to go a little bit against the grain. But that's another thing that's incredibly attractive, is the fact that you do your own thing, right? Now also we have Traveler, move in a new direction. Yes, exactly. I feel like you're someone who also doesn't like to be stagnant at all. You're someone who always likes to be on the move. You like to be exploring. You like to be adventuring. You like to be trying new things. And that's another thing that's very attractive. Maybe you guys literally have traveled all around the world as well, and maybe you have like a lot of really awesome stories to tell from it. And we also have Mother Earth, feel loved and comforted. Yes, that's what people love about you in general, is that you're very nurturing, very loving, very comforting. You're almost like a second home to a lot of people. And remember how I said earlier that it's kind of like the mom or dad friend? That's why we have Mother Earth here. Regardless of gender, I feel like you guys are very much in your divine feminine energy. You're very feminine in general. You just have this nurturing, compassionate, sensitive side to you guys, right? And I feel like you feel your emotions very, very deeply and vividly. And that's another thing that people really love about you. You're also someone who is very fruitful at everything that you do. You're someone who can birth ideas into being very, very easily. And that's another thing people find very attractive. Some of you guys, people might actually see as like Superman or Superwoman, you know, someone who can get the job done, someone who can accomplish anything that they put their mind to. We have more butterflies. Look at all this butterfly imagery. Some of you guys might have a butterfly tattoo, to be honest. Maybe you have like a butterfly or a snake, or maybe literally a butterfly and a snake tattoo, because even the way that the branches wrap around her body reminds me of a snake. Yeah, there's definitely someone here that has tattoos. You might have a full sleeve down your arm or down your leg, and I feel like that's something people find very attractive. You might also have like a blacklight tattoo. Spirit is showing me right under your ear on your left side, like left for you, right for other people. But going forward, people just really love the fact that you nurture yourself and you nurture others as well. I feel like the same care and love that you show yourself, you show other people, and you respect other people, you understand others. And how beautiful is that? Now, also with the earth here, I feel like you guys really love going out into nature. You really love going out to Mother Gaia as well. You just really love connecting with the earth. You're very, very grounded. I feel like when you're not balanced is when you're not spending time in nature, when you're not hiking, when you're not just breathing the fresh air, right? Because again, I feel like you guys are very optimistic. It's very hard to catch you guys on an off day. And even then, when you feel like you're having an off day, people might still look at you and be like, oh my gosh, even on their off days, they're so sweet. What the heck? But there's definitely this energy of you being very nurturing. And honestly, can I just be 100% here? You guys would be incredible parents. Not gonna lie, right? Now, going forward onto your next two cards, we have number 34, reveal your truth, and number 20, know your fears. Yes. So I feel like you guys, again, are very authentic. You only do things that line up with your inner integrity. Maybe you guys are JoJo Bizarre's adventure fans. You really love anime or something. But going forward, you know, I just feel like you're very authentic. You're very unique. And you're not someone who shies away from showing people who you are inside and what it is that you do as well. For some of you guys, you might really love dyeing your hair or just changing up your appearance in general, and that's something that people find very attractive too, is that you don't mind changing your appearance, you don't mind changing up your nails. For some of you guys, maybe you just really love painting your nails, regardless of gender. I just feel like there's this energy of wanting to really pamper yourself, to be completely honest, and preen yourself and take care of yourself. But I also feel like you're someone who honors your fears and knows what you can't do. You know, it's almost this energy of knowing what you can and can't, you know, so maybe there's this energy of, you know, respecting yourself, like, oh yeah, I can do this and this and that. I can eat 5 hot dogs, but you know, saying to yourself, it would be a little bit hard without any training to just eat 100 hot dogs, right? So it's that sort of an energy. I feel like you guys honor yourselves and say, yeah, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. I'm not going to push myself to do more. Just because Jacob over there is eating 100 hot dogs doesn't mean that I have to eat 100 too, right? So it's that sort of an energy. But I feel like you guys really know yourselves on the inside and out. And there's also this energy of, I keep hearing, when you point out your flaws or when you point out other things that maybe you know aren't necessarily 100% about you, you know, people can't use it to their power. People can't use it to their advantage. Some of you guys might also be Game of Thrones fans. But going forward, we have the Magician and the Ace of Swords to sum up your energy and why people fall for you. You're an excellent communicator as well. You're someone who is a master manifester. You're someone who is awesome at bringing clarity to any situation. I feel like you're an incredible mediator as well. But you're also very resourceful. And that's something that people might actually say, is that you're very balanced. They might also say that you're someone who has a lot of resources already, that you're very good with communication. You know, you're someone who is very focused at work. You're someone who is very loving. You're someone who's very passionate and determined. You know, so there's just this energy of all of these aspects coming together so beautifully and really complementing one another. So people would really say that you're balanced, that you're someone who is very well off, maybe even say that you are someone who is an Aquarius or an Aries. Or maybe that's just the energy that we have here. You're an individual, but you're also very straightforward. You're also very passionate and headstrong. And that's something that people find very, very beautiful about you, right? Is that you can switch from this divine feminine energy into the divine masculine energy very, very quickly, right? And that's another thing people really appreciate. Now, also with the Ace of Swords here, I feel like you're someone who is very good at finding common ground between other people too, but you're also someone who is really good at making a house a home. And I feel like you're very good at making people feel like they're at home too. So going forward onto your Wheel of the Year tarot cards, we have the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the King of Swords, and the High Priestess. Beautiful. So again, this could be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, any air sign placement, although it doesn't have to be. It could just be talking about the fact that, again, you're very personable, you're an incredible communicator, you're someone who is very, very good with conversation. You know, I feel like people really gravitate towards you, but it's because you found balance within your own heartbreak. You found balance within your own disappointments, within your own hurts, within your own sadness. And that's something that people really appreciate about you, is that instead of becoming maybe bitter or angry at the world for everything that you've been through, I feel like you just use that. You transmutated the energy into something positive. You know, and do you see how, you know, this king here is sitting here with his sword and his book, and he's very cozy now. It hasn't always been cozy. It felt a little bit isolated in the past, or a little bit cold, right? But it took some time, it took some work, and I feel like that's the energy with you guys too, is that you know that not everything happens overnight, and to pace yourselves. I feel like you guys also are very good at balancing your money and your finances, and that's another thing people really find attractive. But why do people fall for you? Because you have a really awesome perspective in even the toughest times and the most disappointing of moments as well. You have a wonderful perspective. You have a wonderful way of looking for the silver lining, because again, it hasn't always been easy for you. But instead of being upset or bitter or hurt about that, I feel like you are someone who took that pain and you turned it into something beneficial and something healthy as well. And kudos to you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. Now, we also have the High Priestess here as well. And this is talking all about, again, that you guys are very connected with spirit, with source, with your patron gods and goddesses, with your archangels, and that's something that people find very attractive. You're also very intelligent. I feel like you guys are very well read, very knowledgeable. Again, teacher vibe, right? Now also onto closing cards, we have the Prince of Wands, the King of Hearts, and the Star card. Wow, 2 kings. No other court cards other than the Prince here, but I mean, hey, that's not too bad. He's not a page. So again, moving on up, someone who's very mature, someone who is very responsible as well. You have all of your ducks in a row, and you're someone who can take care of yourself. You're very self-sufficient. Now also with the Prince of Wands here, there's definitely this energy of you being very dedicated, very determined, very passionate. But I feel like people that maybe are a little bit playerish, I feel like they feel intimidated to come forward because they know that you're not going to put up with that. They know that you're going to be like, swerve. Do you see how he's holding up this fan to this man over here? And this guy's like, oh, hey, you want to go out, Dan? And, you know, Dan's just like, swerve, Steven, I don't want to talk to you, you know? And I feel like that's you guys' energy, is that you can see these people from a mile away, honey. You can understand them, you know what they're all about, and you don't want that life anymore. Yeah, and you're on to bigger and better things. Now, also, some of you guys are just gorgeous. Like, you have a beautiful figure. Some of you guys have very pronounced collarbones as well. People really, really love your collarbones. You might wear a lot of chokers or necklaces. You might even be wearing one now. But there's just this energy of you having a very, very beautiful neck and torso area. You might also wear a lot of accessories in your hair, or maybe even a lot of rings, a lot of jewelry in general. But people find that very, very alluring about you, as well as how nicely you clean yourself up. I feel like a lot of people as well find you to be very sensual. Maybe you post a lot of images on social media, or maybe you have a Snapchat where you post pictures of you like in the bath, or, you know, post pictures of you at the gym. You know, I just feel like there's this energy of people finding you very gorgeous and very alluring in that way. But I hope you guys are doing amazing. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if this resonated, you guys. Oh, and before I leave it and kind of go on to talking about my links in the description box, I also want to say with the Star card, you're very hopeful as well. You know, and you're someone who, again, sees the silver lining in everything, very unconditionally loving too. You guys are just so beautiful on the inside and out. But again, let me know if this resonated in the comments down below. I love reading you guys' comments so much. It makes my day every day. But I hope you guys are staying in good health. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Also, make sure to press subscribe and hit that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. And also, I will be leaving all of my links in the description box down below for my Tumblr and for my website. I do monthly horoscope readings for the full moon and for the new moon, so twice a month. And that's just kind of free content that I wanted to put out for you guys, so then that way you could kind of see how your month is going to be going. I want to do all signs on my YouTube kind of going forward, kind of regularly, like throughout the month. Definitely let me know, you guys, what you guys think about that. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health. If you want to have a personal reading with me, all of my links are in the description box down below for my website and my Etsy. But yeah, I hope to talk to you guys soon, and stay in good health, you guys. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see why do people fall for you. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose all of the yellow bow, and the yellow color card. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys work closely with Oshun, and I feel like you guys have really worked on your self-worth as well. You have worked on really putting yourself out there, stepping into that warm, vivacious energy. You might also have Leo somewhere in your chart. Now, you don't have to, but I just feel like that's how you present yourself to the outside world, and that's what people find very attractive about you, is that you're someone someone who is very conventionally attractive as well. If I could just put that out there, I feel like you have very beautiful hair, you have very clear skin, you're someone who has very gorgeous teeth as well, and I feel like you're someone who on certain days you're like, yes, I know I'm gorgeous, but the majority of the time you're very humble about it, and I feel like you're someone who doesn't tend to brag, and that's something that's very alluring and something that's very attractive about you guys as well. I feel like you're very good at articulating your words too. You sound very proper, you sound very high class, and that's something that people really gravitate towards you for as well. You're someone who's also very well balanced. You're someone who is very balanced between their divine masculine and their divine feminine energies. So you're very good at making decisions for yourself. You have a very good head on your shoulders as well. For some of you guys, you might eat a very balanced diet as well. You might really be loving cats too. So I feel like you guys are very independent. You guys are very much into that energy of self-reliance as well, being able to stand on your own 2 feet, not having to worry about someone else taking care of you. You're just incredibly self-reliant. And that's another beautiful energy as well. But again, I feel like you guys are very truthful, very honest, and very forthcoming as well, since we do have this clear quartz here. I feel like from time to time, it can be a little bit hard to get to know you, or maybe that's just how people feel. They feel a little bit intimidated coming forward because they feel like, wow, this person is already larger than life. What could I possibly bring to their life, right? It's almost as if people might also see you as a celebrity. You might be someone who has a large social media following. Maybe you're someone who is a singer, a songwriter, a dancer, a TikTok star. I don't know. Oh, she's a runner. She's a track star. Maybe you guys are literally like, maybe you like to run marathons as well. You like to stay fit. You like to stay healthy. I just feel like there's this energy as well of having a very good sense of humor. You're someone who might even have a little bit of a dry humor from time to time, where you're very sarcastic and you like to have the last word, but sometimes I feel like people don't necessarily get it, but when you're in a large group of people, you know, I feel like people love the fact that you have that dry humor, and people really love the fact that you can get a little bit sarcastic as well. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys also have Virgo placements too. I feel like you're very understanding though, very loving and very compassionate, very down to earth with all of this yellow. Whenever I think of yellow, I also think of sunflowers. I think of the sun. I think of warmth. I think of brilliance. I feel like there's also this energy of you bringing a lot of clarity wherever you go as well. You're not someone who's going to leave others hanging. You're not someone who's going to string people along, and you're someone who's very upfront with your kind of advances, your romantic advances. It's almost as if when you have someone in mind that you really like and that you find really attractive, you're going to pursue them. You don't care about gender roles. You don't care about who should be pursuing who. You don't care about modern nuances of like, well, they texted me, I should wait like 2 hours. No, you don't care. You're going to text them back immediately, and that's something that people find very attractive, and another reason why people quickly fall in love with you as well. So starting us off, we have B. So again, you guys are very, very understanding, very compassionate, very kind and loving as well. You're very family oriented. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys also resonated with stack 1 in a way too. But I feel like you guys are very encouraging. Whenever bees are kind of first starting out to collect pollen and to make honey, when they go out and they collect pollen, they only collect about 1/12 of what every other worker bee does. But instead of saying, oh, Jimmy, look at the pollen you brought in today. No, instead they all buzz and they uplift that bee that walks into the hive. And so then that way the bee feels more inspired to go out the next day and collect even more pollen. And that keeps going until they become a full-time worker bee. And I feel like that's the same energy with you guys, is that people find that very attractive, that you're very encouraging. You're someone who's very inspiring to other people as well. It's almost as if you're a beacon of hope. Now, also, I feel like you guys are very strong as well. I feel like you can just kind of pile on a whole bunch of grocery bags onto your arms and just kind of walk into the house like it's no problem, kind of like a pack mule or like a mountain llama, but there's definitely this energy of you guys being able to hold your weight and being able to take care of yourselves. Maybe some of you guys also practice in self-defense classes, or maybe you're an instructor for self-defense courses. Maybe you guys just look like you can defend yourself. You know, maybe that's even why people are a little bit intimidated if you have a little bit more muscle, or if you look like you're someone who lifts hardcore metal or iron. I just feel like there's this energy of you know, maybe people, when they finally get to know you, understanding that you're someone who is a sweet cinnamon roll and someone who is just so kind and loving and gentle and someone who wouldn't even hurt a fly, to be completely honest. I wouldn't be surprised if people have told you that before. But I also feel like you guys are very free-spirited, very loving, very open-hearted, and very understanding of other people's cultures and other people's heritages as well. It's almost as if you guys are hungry for knowledge too. You want to understand other people, you want to understand other cultures, and you want to understand other outlooks as well. And that's another thing people find very attractive. And honestly, they fall in love very quick with you because of how open-minded and open-hearted you guys are. I feel like you see everyone and anyone as your extended family, almost like one human family as well. We're all in this together. You know, so you're someone who doesn't discriminate. You know, you're not someone who is going to be rude for no reason as well. I feel like honestly, it takes a lot to get you guys mad or to even make you act rude or make you act kind of distastefully towards people. It really would take a lot. Like, but they probably have to like cut off your big toe or something for you to be like, hey, I don't like that. Hey, you know, I just feel like you guys are very kind and very sweet and very lovable. Now we also have number 40, Courage, and number 21, Seek Enlightenment. Oh, wow. So that would go 3 and then 4. So you guys definitely know how to pace yourselves. You know how to put one foot right after the other, how to take one step at a time. You know, and that's another thing people really love about you. You're not just rushing into things. You're definitely making sure that you're pacing yourself. I also feel like with 3 and 4 here, people understand that you're someone who likes structure in your life as well. You love balance. You love maybe even routines as well. Maybe you guys have eaten the same breakfast for the last 25 years of your life, and it's something that you don't want to change now, but it's something that brings you comfort as well. So there's a level of predictability to you guys, but it's also very kind of comforting in a way, if that makes sense. Now we also have, with the number 21, Seek Enlightenment, I feel like you guys are very connected with Source. You're very connected with Spirit. You're very, very intuitively connected, but I also feel like all of your chakras are aligned very beautifully as well. You're someone who does your chakra cleanses. You're someone who works with singing bowls potentially as well, and that's a really wonderful way to just kind of clear your chakras, keep yourself cleared. Some of you guys might also work with light language videos here on YouTube, or maybe even do subliminals as well, but I just feel like you're someone who is almost this ethereal being to so many other people. You're almost like a goddess or a god incarnate, right? But I feel like it also goes into your generosity as well, and you know that every soul on this earth is connected. Again, one human family, but instead of even one human family, I just feel like you would say one family, because you're someone who loves animals, you're someone who loves plants, you're someone who loves even just the rocks on the ground. You know that everything is living, everything has a soul, and everything has a story as well. You know, you might be the type of person to be very philosophical too. You know, you might look at a rock and think to yourself, oh, I wonder what all this rock has went through. I wonder how many periods of life this rock has seen in its lifetime, right? And it's not to say that the rock is like alive and feeling, but I just feel like there's this idea of putting yourself in the rock's place and just trying to imagine what wildlife looks around you over the next 500 years or over the last 1,000 years, right? But you're someone who's very introspective, and that's another thing people find very beautiful about you and something they fall in love with you for. Now, also with number 40, Courage, you're someone who's very courageous, very brave. You always put yourself out there, and I feel like you are someone who understands that first impressions are everything, you know, or maybe that's just how you feel in general. And so you always tend to put your best foot forward. I feel like there's this energy of being a little bit scared from time to time too, to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. But I feel like people find that even very endearing about you when you do make a little bit of a mistake, or when you do make a little bit of a slip up as well, right? Because people love the fact that you're very perseverant. People love the fact that you're also very resilient as well, and you just keep going, you keep trucking forward. You know, I also feel like you guys are get knocked down 9 times, get up 10 times type of people as well. You know, you're someone who, no matter what the universe throws at you, you're always going to conquer it very beautifully, very courageously, and very graciously as well. Some of you guys might also be into ballet, or maybe just really love to dance. Now, also, I do want to say as well, maybe some of you guys are seamstresses, maybe you love to draw as well. You're just very creative, very resourceful, but I feel like people really love that creative, artistic side of you, right? And it really does come out to play, especially when you're listening to good music, especially when you're really listening to maybe audiobooks or a good documentary too, because honestly, you guys are intellectuals. Let me just be honest here. And I feel like you have a very firm and solid foundation underneath you as well, and people really appreciate the fact that you are very meticulous meticulous with building a strong base underneath you, right? Something to rely on. Maybe some of you guys are literally saving up a retirement as well, or something to rely on, maybe even just for a rainy day, maybe making a rainy day fund, and people really love that as well, the fact that you are so money oriented. Now going forward, we also have Shield Maiden, Autumn, and Shapeshifter. So some of you guys might have a birthday in autumn. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are Libras as well. Just kind of with that personable vibe, someone who's very easygoing, someone who's very loving and understanding. But with Release the Old and Rest, again, you're someone who loves to go forward. You know, you don't like to dwell on the past. You don't like to dwell on past issues. You don't like to dwell on the disappointments or the heartaches of life. You're someone who gets up and they keep going. You keep going forward, you know, but you're also someone who understands how important it is to have that self-care time and to, you know, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, which is probably why maybe you guys are very well rested. Maybe you love to sleep in on the weekends. You know, maybe even on the weekends you have like a self-care Saturday and your friends know like, oh, Danny doesn't want to do anything on Saturday because that's their self-care Saturday. But that's something that also makes you very attractive, is that you won't forsake yourself for another person, so to speak. Now also with Shield Maiden, it says make plans and focus. Yeah, so again, with wanting a routine, wanting a schedule, wanting some form of this is what I have to do at 7 a.m., this is what I have to do at 8 a.m. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are planners, or maybe you also want to incorporate that into your career in the future as well. Maybe you guys are wedding planners, maybe you guys really love to do birthday party planning as well, baby shower planning. There's just this energy of being a planner and being someone who is able to tackle all of their goals and their ambitions because they've made a plan. So again, that meticulousness kind of reminds me of a Virgo energy like we picked up on earlier. Now also, I wouldn't be surprised if Autumn is talking about September. Some of you guys might literally be September babies, so Virgo, or maybe even a Virgo Libra cusp. But we also have Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. Beautiful. So again, you're someone who has a lot of gifts. You're someone who is very talented, very artistic. So be forthcoming about them. You know, don't shy away from that. I feel like you're someone who is very different from everyone else. You know, you're someone who marches to the beat of your own drum, and that's another thing that people find very alluring and very attractive. But at the same time, it's almost as if there's moments where you want to blend in, where you want to be like everyone else, but it's almost as if your vibration is just too high or something, you know, that it really does kind of separate you from the rest of the crowd. It's almost as if you could be standing in a concert hall and you could be like going to see Coldplay, and the lead singer of Coldplay is just gonna look straight at you because it's like your aura is just so intense. And I feel like that's the energy that we have here as well, is that even when you try to blend in with your peers, you're always someone who tends to stick out like a sore thumb, and that's not a bad thing, right? Now, some of you might also be into Norse mythology. You might work with Odin or Thor as well. I just wanted to throw that out there. Or you could also work with the goddess Diana. Now, going forward, we have number 31, Observe in Silence, and number 25, Love That You Are Different. Yes! Okay, so that's definitely the energy that we have here, you guys, is the fact that you guys are a little bit different, but that's a very beautiful aspect of you. That's why people love you. Maybe you're someone who wears like steampunk fashion, or maybe you wear like super like kawaii clothes where it's like super bright pinks and pastel pinks. You know, maybe you go on like DDLG sites and you buy clothes off of there. There's just this energy of really expressing yourself and not caring what other people have to say. You know, but it's really funny because I feel like for a long time, maybe you were someone who was bullied because of the fact that you were different. But Spirit is saying, no, these bullies were all bullying you throughout your entire life, even at work. Maybe you even had coworkers that were ripping on you because they were jealous that they couldn't live into their full authenticity. They were jealous that they couldn't be genuine with who it is that they were. They couldn't be truthful within themselves and kind of own up to their inner truth as well. And that's something that you do very easily, very beautifully as well, especially with the number 25, Indigo Child energy. Yeah, so you guys definitely might be drawn to pile 1, to be completely honest. But love, love, love the fact that you are different. Again, with you guys being connected with nature and with plants too, and being at one with them, I feel like you guys also really love mushrooms. You know, maybe you guys love going out and just identifying them. Maybe you're in groups online as well where you talk about that, or cottagecore. Maybe that's literally the fashion you wear is cottagecore. Anyway, we also have number 31, Observe in Silence, another 4, January, February, March, April. You might have a birthday in April, or maybe that's even going to be significant. Maybe you guys are going to be connecting with a Taurus that is really in love with you. I just wanted to throw that out there. It might resonate for someone. But with observe and silence here, I feel like you're also someone who's very meditative, very reflective, and very intuitive. So you like to connect with your spirit guides. You like to connect with your higher self too, and understand what it is that you need to be focusing on. And again, I feel like when you connect with your higher self, when you connect with your spirit guides, that's when you are really tapped into your source. And that's when you're really going to be able to express yourself and harness those inner gifts, right? Because again, you're someone who's very talented, but I feel like you don't necessarily give yourself enough credit where credit is due, right? So going forward, we have the High Priestess with the Nine of Wands. Yeah, so you guys are very, very intuitively connected. You're very intelligent as well, very well read, very well versed in etiquette as well. Maybe you guys are incredibly polite. Maybe you know like the difference between a soup spoon and a salad spoon and a dessert spoon and a pudding spoon, like all those different spoons. You know the difference. But I feel like you're someone who is just very well versed in everything. You're someone who loves to learn. You're very hungry for knowledge. And that's something people find very attractive and very sexy. Now, also with the High Priestess here, it talks all about the fact that you're very sensitive as well to changes, maybe even to moon cycles. Maybe you're someone who is very prone to like pressure headaches, or maybe you're someone who just tends to feel a little bit of unease around a full moon or a new moon. And I feel like that's something that people also find very attractive, is that you're in tune. You're in tune with the universe. You're in tune with the moon cycles. You're in tune with the earth around you. And that's something that people might also find to be a little bit of a rarity, right? Is the fact that you're someone who is incredibly spiritual, right? And you are someone who really takes the time to understand who it is that you are deep down, not just on surface level, but who it is you are in your soul level. Now also we have the Nine of Wands here, again, persevering. Knock me down 9 times, I get up 10. We have a literal mountain goat here, right? So you're climbing to brand new heights. You're someone who is very victorious. You're someone who always strives forward and always pushes themselves too. Again, always pushing your limit, always wanting to be better than you were previous, always wanting to just kind of look better as well. Maybe you guys are constantly going through glow ups as well, and that's something that people find very attractive too. Maybe you love to do your makeup very bold. Maybe some of you guys are going to cosmetology school, so maybe you want to be a beautician or do hair. Maybe some of you guys also want to work at like a funeral home doing makeup as well for the people who are having open caskets. I just feel like there's this energy of wanting to give back with your looks, with your makeup as well for some of you guys. Now also going forward, I feel like you have very beautiful eyes, very expressive as well. It's almost as if your emotions can really shine through very, very easily. So whenever someone is around you, it's almost as if even if they just met you, it's just some random person off the street, they can tell if you've been disappointed, or they can tell if you've had a little bit of a hard day, because it really does show in your eyes and on your face. You have a very, very expressive face, and that's something that people find very attractive too. But you have a gorgeous face. Oh my goodness, regardless of gender, I just feel like you're someone who's incredibly attractive. It's almost as if you could be a model, to be completely honest, and maybe that's something that people would tell you is like, really? Like, why are you doing this? You could be a model. You could be a Victoria's Secret model. But I feel like for some of you guys, again, it goes back into that humble energy of saying, what, me? No way, not me. But people really find you beautiful. And maybe that's also a reason why people are intimidated, because they feel like you are out of their league. Like they could not even have a chance with you. They could not even afford to take you out on a nice date, right? Because you just look like $1,000,000. You look like someone who, even when you roll out of bed, you are well put together and you are taken care of, and you're someone who has everything in place. And maybe that really scares people, especially when it becomes a reflection of themselves and an understanding of, ooh, I don't have my life in order, right? So it can be a little bit uncomfortable to have that reflected. It's almost as if you're a mirror for a lot of people too, of their own hurt and of their own healing that they have to do. And that's something that also intimidates people. But you're someone who is always going on to bigger and better things. Again, you love to leave the drama in the past. You don't like to take any of the extra baggage as well. You're someone who learns the lessons and you keep moving forward. You're wise beyond your years as well. And you're someone who's just, really, really reflective too. You're someone who has made your own happiness. You've made your own happily ever after with the Nine of Chalices. And people also see you as kind of a good luck charm, to be completely honest. They see you as someone who's very lucky, very abundant, someone they'd want to settle down with, because you're someone who always brings a lot of joy, a lot of fun, a lot of love to every situation as well. Again, you're very uplifting and encouraging, and I feel like your friends and family members really, really love that about you as well, to be completely honest. And I feel like the people that fall in love with you, Stack 2, I feel like they tend to fall in love with you. There's a specific moment, and it's like right when you bring them home. And it's almost like when they see you interacting like with your friends and family members, that's going to be the moment where they're like, yep, that's the one. That's the person I want to marry. With the Four of Wands here, again, you're someone who can build a very stable home for yourself. And you're someone who's very grateful for everything that is done for you. So it's almost like maybe everyone around is getting these conventional houses built. And like your suitor is just sort of like, well, Isabella, this is all I could afford is this tree house. But I painted it and I made it real nice. And I got our bed up there, and this is where we live now. And you're like, yes, I've always wanted to live in a tree house. What? You know, and this person's just like, what? You know, but there's this energy of you not being high maintenance. Even though people might suspect that you're high maintenance, you're really not, right? So again, with strength, really, again, reiterating the fact that you're a Leo. I'm sorry I'm so tongue-tied in this video. Oh my goodness. But with strength here, I feel like you're someone who tends to take the bull by the horns. You might even be someone who has a nose piercing, or maybe even a lip piercing, a belly button piercing. You might even be someone who has really, really long hair. I know that we talked about that earlier, but just noticing all of the cards where they have long hair, I mean, that's pretty much every single card here. So I feel like that's going to resonate with some of you guys. Now, going forward, I feel like also people really love when you do your hair up. So when you're braiding it in particular, look, we have braids here, we have braids here. There's definitely this energy of braiding it. Maybe you do small individual braids, maybe you do like thick French braids as well, but people feel like they really fall for you when you have your hair pushed out of your face, when they can see your features, when they can see your cheekbones as well. You guys have really awesome facial structure and facial features too. You know, I feel like you have a very nice jawline, you have a very good cheekbone, very high cheekbone as well, and that's something people find very attractive. For some of you guys, you might even have this kind of 90s Angelina Jolie sort of a vibe going on as well that they find gorgeous. Whoever is crushing on you, you know, I just feel like people fall for you because you are beautiful without even having to try. You look so effortlessly gorgeous in every single way. Now, also with the Princess of Chalices, there's definitely this energy, you know, again, of you being connected with nature, connected with animals, connected with the world around you. Maybe you're also someone who loves to have a lot of plants in your apartment or in your household. You know, you love to have flowers and succulents and maybe even aloe vera plants. Again, I feel like you guys are also really good, you know, at communication and with writing letters, maybe even writing love letters too. But I feel like from time to time, you love to receive them more than you love to actually give them out. So I feel like it's only the people in your life that you know are set in stone that you're going to give them love letters to. But at the same time, I feel like those that do receive love letters understand what a big deal and how important that is. You know, it's almost as if when people have won your trust and when they see how much you drop your guards and how much you go from this strong, determined individual who can take on anything to this sweet little dainty little lady sitting here feeding the birds and smelling the flowers. You know, I feel like it's going to be such a shock, and it's going to be almost as if their first impression of you is very different compared to who you actually are, and it's going to make them melt. It's going to make them fall in love with you, honestly, multiple times throughout you guys' lifetimes. You know, when you have a future partner that you're with. Now, I also want to say, too, with the Prince of Chalices here, that you have a lot of suitors, to be completely honest. I wouldn't be surprised if you have 2 or 3 people that have their eye on you currently. So these could be people that follow your social media. These could be people that maybe you talk to on online forums, or maybe you work with them. Maybe you also go to college with them. There's just this energy of people really surrounding themselves around you and just watching you, just being so enamored by everything that you do as well. Now, we also have the 6 of Swords here, so again, going towards calmer waters, leaving the drama behind and going forward. And it's so funny because I feel like you guys don't like drama. You know, I feel like even though you come off as this sort of, maybe some of you guys look like Kim Kardashian, or you just have this like, and I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you almost have this like influencer look, I guess would be the best way to put it. You know, and I feel like people really expect you to be someone who's all about the drama, but you're not. You know, you just want a peaceful life. You're like, even though I look hot as hell, it doesn't mean that I want to be in drama, Jacob. Thanks, but no thanks. I don't want any of that. You know, but I feel like maybe you've also had to be able to become more comfortable with walking away from toxic relationships for that reason. It's almost as if in the past you've gotten into relationships because they have only ever seen you as a pretty face, you know, and you are someone who is so much more than that. You are intelligent, you are gifted, you are resourceful, you know, you are someone who is crafty and someone who is so artistic. So make sure that you're expressing that going forward, you know. But I feel like that's also something that people really fall in love with you for, is because of the fact that you move forward, is because of the fact you don't lower yourselves to people who only see you as a pretty face, right? Six of Swords again, yes, taking the lessons but leaving the rest behind, not holding any of the baggage anymore. Beautiful. Now I also have the Six of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Fool card. Beautiful. Okay, so right off the bat, again, moving to calmer waters. I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you're very connected with birds too. Maybe you have a bird, or maybe you had a bird when you were growing up. But we also have the Five of Pentacles here. Yeah, you're moving away from being shut out in the cold. You're moving away from being used or taken advantage of, or, you know, taken for granted as well. And you're really conserving your energy, and that's why people are falling for you as well. You know, and I feel like some of you guys too have had to learn better boundaries. You've had to learn better appreciation for yourself too, and that hasn't always been easy, but it was a transformation that you had to go through in order to get to this brand new period of good luck. And again, that's what people find very attractive, is that you can say no, is you can put your foot down and you can be like, no, this doesn't align with who I am or what I want in life, and you will walk away. Again, knowing your self-worth makes you so attractive, right? Again, Oshun vibes here. But we also have the Fool card. So I feel like you guys are very adventurous. You love to try anything at least once, and that's another thing people find very attractive, is the fact that you're very open-minded, very open-hearted. You're someone who doesn't mind, you know, maybe even experiencing brand new cultures, or you're someone who doesn't mind traveling. You know, maybe you guys love to go on cruises, you love to go on hikes, you love to go just kind of exploring in general. Maybe that's also one of you guys' like dreams in the future, is to literally be able to travel. Some of you guys might also move a lot in general, like move houses. You might move like every other year or every few years, especially since we have two Six of Swords here. But they find that very beautiful too, is that you're just sort of like, well, I guess it's time to move again. Instead of getting upset that you have to move, you're just sort of like, well, on to the next adventure, you know, and they find that very attractive as well. So why do people fall in love with you? Because you're adventurous, because you're intelligent, because you're artistic, you're creative, you're resourceful, because you're someone who isn't going to settle for less, because you're someone who has good boundaries, you're someone who is fierce, you're vivacious, you are gorgeous in every single way imaginable, you're intelligent, you're polite, you're well-versed in etiquette, you know, you're just someone who is so phenomenal in so many ways, you know, and you're very loyal too. Now, also, I do want to say quick, too, with the Fool here, you know, I feel like you would be an incredible travel partner and an incredible companion to have if you're on, like, the wide open road, right? I also feel like you guys receive a lot of synchronicities, too, and you might share them on your social media, such as 333 or 444 or maybe even 144. But I feel like that's something that people really appreciate about you, is that maybe you also offer other people spiritual enlightenment, or, you know, you tell people what this synchronicity means or what that synchronicity means, you know, and I feel like people really appreciate that, right? But definitely let me know in the comments down below if this resonated, Stack 2. Oh my goodness, you guys are just amazing in every single way, and don't sell yourself short, right? But going forward, definitely leave a like if you enjoyed this. Also, make sure to press subscribe if you have not already, and press the little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. Also, I have all of my links in the description box down below for my Etsy and for my website, where I do personal readings in case you wanted to have one with me. I also have my Tumblr and my website on there too, where I offer free horoscopes. I post twice a month, and it is for new moon and full moon readings, so make sure to check those out. I like to post like the day of, so make sure you follow me on there or sign up for my newsletter so you get reminders of whenever I post these, right? But I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked Stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see why do people fall for you. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the blue color card with the blue bow and the lapis lazuli. I feel like not only are you very encouraging to your friends and family members, but I feel like you're also very healing as well. You're just a healing presence in general. It kind of reminds me of the water sign, kind of Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I feel like you're a natural born healer as well. Some of you guys might work in Reiki. Some of you guys might work as a yoga instructor as well. I also also feel like for some of you guys, maybe you work as a speech therapist too, and you really help people that have, you know, maybe problems with their speech, or maybe you're also helping people to get back to regaining their speech as well, kind of like a physical therapist in a sort of way. But I feel like for the majority of you guys, you're just incredibly healing. I feel like you're almost like a breath of fresh air, or almost like a tall glass of water after walking through the desert, right? But I feel like you're someone who has a very good head on your shoulders. You're very healthy as well. You're someone who is very sensitive, though. I feel like you're someone who doesn't mind being vulnerable with the people that you love, or just people in general. I feel like you're also someone who is very optimistic and very forthcoming with that. You love to help people to see the silver lining in things. You love to help people to kind of get involved with their emotions more too, because I feel like for you it has always been second nature. So throughout life you've kind of stumbled across people who were emotionally unavailable, and that was something that was a little bit confusing or a little bit hard for you to understand from time to time, because you're someone who is just already very emotionally open and emotionally out there, and you're like, here I am, I'm an open book, it's just up to you if you want to read me or not, right? And that's one of the reasons why people fall for you, is because of the fact you're very open, because of the fact that you're also very sensitive. I feel like you're very in touch with your emotions too, whereas a lot of people can tend to be out of touch with them. A lot of people can tend to shy away from their emotions as well, because they're scared of being vulnerable. They're scared of letting their guards down, and they're scared of, you know, maybe appearing weak. But you don't see it as being weak at all. You see it as being very strong. To be vulnerable is to have a superpower. It's to have a strength to show another person how to connect and how to be open and honest and forthcoming and truthful, right? So going forward, I also feel like you guys are very genuine. Everything you do is from the heart. I feel like you're also very generous. You love to give gifts, and I feel like that's also why you really love birthdays, you love celebrations, you love going to parties. You know, I just feel like because you love to bring a gift, you love to bring a present, you love to, you know, maybe even welcome new neighbors into the neighborhood. I just feel like you're that kind of sweet. You know, you're someone who really is considerate of other people as well. You love to cooperate. I feel like you're a great team player too. You might be someone who receives a lot of messages from spirit as well, because whenever I think of blue, I think of bluebirds. And whenever I think of bluebirds, I think of, you know, connecting with your past loved ones, connecting with your past friends and family members as well. So for some of you guys, maybe that's what got you into this spiritual awakening, or what got you into spirituality, was after someone very close to you passed, you know, and maybe that was a wonderful way to be able to reconnect with them on your own, right? Is to be able to connect with your spirituality and with your intuition. And that's something that people really love about you, right? I also feel like you're someone who doesn't mind holding a long conversation, to be completely honest. Again, that's another reason people really love you. So going on to your first card, we have water. Yes. Okay. So this is exactly what we're talking about. You could have water signs somewhere in your chart, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, although you don't have to. It could just, again, be talking about the fact that you're very connected with your emotions. You're very at one with them. Again, you're not someone who is going to shy away from them. You're not someone who's going to shy away from tough, kind of uncomfortable conversations either, because you're someone who knows that they have to be kind of brought to the light, right? I feel like you're someone who feels more uncomfortable when things are left unsaid, as opposed to when things are out in the open. And maybe that's why you're very open on a day-to-day basis, because you're just sort of like, well, I want to know where everyone stands. Here I am, right? Just because you like to have a little bit of understanding, not only with other people, but also in, you know, your day-to-day life. You know, maybe you like to have a little bit of predictability, because for some of you guys, maybe you struggle a little bit with abandonment issues as well, which I totally understand. That was something that I had to work on healing, and I'm still healing from time to time, right? But I feel like that's something that you guys really maybe can struggle with as well. But I wouldn't be surprised with water if you guys can tend to be a little bit moody. But that's another reason why people really love you, is because you're very expressive with your emotions. It kind of reminds me how children or toddlers, whenever they're happy, they're jumping for joy, you know, and whenever they're a little bit mad or perturbed, they have their arms crossed and they're like, And I feel like that's your energy. And that's just not to say that that's the energy that you hold yourself in, but you're very expressive with your emotions, and you let people know, like, regardless of who they are, you will be like, hey, Franklin, that hurt my feelings. You're going to make me cry, and I'm going to go cry in the kitchen now. You know, it's that sort of an energy. And I love it. I'm here for it, because I feel like that's very healthy. I feel like it's very healthy to have these conversations. You're very, very mature, to be completely honest, because you do understand that sometimes the most needed and most beneficial conversations are the ones that we don't want to have, right? Now, also, I feel like you guys are very flexible too. You're very good with your time management, and that's another reason why people really kind of fall for you, to be completely honest, is because you have a really mature, level-headed mind, right? You're not someone who just does things haphazardly or all willy-nilly. You're someone who puts a lot of thought into everything you do. Now we also have number 38, forgiveness, number 3, Archangel Gabriel, and number 31, be strong. Look at all this blue here. So that might also be an aura color for you guys, to be completely honest, so you can definitely Google that. But I feel like you guys are just very generous, very forthcoming, very upfront, and very emotionally secure within yourselves. You have created your own firm foundation, a very strong structure underneath you that you can stand on. So this could be a very strong home life. Maybe you guys have your own house already. Maybe you have an apartment or a townhouse, but I just feel like you guys are really taken care of, and you're very mature. You have all of your ducks in a row, so to speak. But you're also someone who's very forgiving. You're very understanding. You're someone who likes to put yourself in another person's shoes before you judge them. You love to walk a mile in another person's shoes, but you're also very fair too with Archangel Gabriel here. I also feel like you guys are very wonderful at helping other people to let go of their problems or to release the things that were really holding them down. I feel like you guys would be amazing psychologists or therapists as well, because you're just incredible listeners. I feel like you guys are active, open audiences, and that's another reason why people fall in love with you. Also, I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you're really good at cooking rice and you like specialize in like maybe rice dishes or like chicken teriyaki or like orange chicken. I just feel like there's this energy of being a really, really good cook, right? Now, going forward, I also feel like with number 38, forgiveness here, I feel like you've had to forgive a lot of people in your life, but you're someone who finds that easy to do, right? You're not someone who's going to hold a grudge. You're not someone who's going to be like, well, I'm never going to be friends with you ever again, Harold. No, you're someone who is just immediately friends again. You don't mind, right? And because I feel like, again, you like to see things from every person's perspective. You're incredibly fair. You know, it's very much this sort of Libra type of an energy here where you're very balanced. And I feel like you're someone who loves to just understand what another person is going through. You might also be someone, to be completely honest, that watches like murderer documentaries and you're just sort of like, oh wow, they had a really bad life. I could understand why they're like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're just very understanding, and I feel like you could kind of associate or like feel for anyone, right? I feel like you're someone who can have human emotion and human sensitivity to anyone and towards anyone. And that's another reason why people fall in love with you, is because of the fact that you are so caring and you are so understanding, and you want to know why people are the way that they are as well, right? And you're very interested in learning. So going forward, we have Knight, Mountains, and Druid. Beautiful. So with Druid starting us off, it says hold the space. And I definitely feel like that was the energy that you were in with connecting with your spirituality, connecting with your past loved ones and your patron gods and goddesses as well. You know, I feel like you guys are very spiritually connected, very spiritually inclined. You know, you might have your own oracle decks or your own tarot decks that you work with, maybe even pendulums. Some of you guys might also love using crystals to work with crystal magic too, especially since we have lapis lazuli. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have crystals in the form of necklaces, rings, maybe even headpieces as well. You know, but I feel like crystals are very important to you. Some of you guys might also come from an indigenous background too. I feel like some of you guys might be from an indigenous background. The other half might be from a European background as well. But going forward, you know, I feel like you're someone, again, who has had to learn how to stand your ground, who has had to learn how to stand firm as well. Because honestly, look, we have two mountains here. Look at all this mountain imagery, you know, and I feel like you're someone who is very strong. You can stay the course. You know, I feel like even if the strongest of blizzards comes in here, you're not going to be disturbed. You're not going to be pushed either way, because you're very balanced. You might even be someone who meditates a lot as well. And that really keeps you in good tip-top shape mentally as well, because I feel like you clear the space for yourself. You hold the space as well. You know, and I feel like your self-care comes first, and that's something that people find very attractive about you as well. Now, another reason why people fall in love with you is honestly because with the mountains card, you notice how it's almost reminding us of a glacier in the water, because glaciers, even though they appear very big on the outside, if you look underneath them, it's entirely bigger, right? You know, and I feel like that's the energy that we have here as well, is that you're someone who has a lot of depth to you. You're someone who is a lot like an onion, and even when you get to know, you know, yourself, you know, you're still peeling back extra layers. And, you know, I feel like even when someone is in your life for a long time, they're still always going to find out new things about you that causes them to fall in love with you, right? But you're almost like a star, to be completely honest. You guys are very intelligent, you know, and you're also very good with boundaries too. Even though you're very kind and very loving and very forthcoming and open, you know, I feel like at the same time you've had to learn how to love people and let them go with love, if that makes sense. Release them with love. How to keep going, how to wish someone well, how to say, hey, I love you, but I just can't do this anymore, and just keep going, right? And I feel like that's very much your energy. Now, we also have Knight, be brave and honest. Yes, again, you're very, very forthcoming and honest. You're someone who's very truthful. You love having these deep conversations too, because you love connecting with other individuals. I feel like you're someone who's also very affectionate. You're very expressive when it comes to love. You're someone who loves to hug. You're someone who loves to give gifts. I know we kind of talked about gift giving, but I feel like you guys really love to make handmade gifts. So it could be this energy of crocheting or sewing or knitting or working with clay, or, just maybe even harvesting your own flowers and giving them to someone. There's just this energy of making your own homemade gifts and really loving to see the look on someone else's face when they appreciate what you have to offer, right? Now, also with Knight, be brave and honest, I feel like you guys are very passionate, and again, you only do things that align with your inner integrity, your inner knowingness of what is correct for you. You have very strong morals and very strong beliefs as well. I feel like you have a very, very strong belief system. Now, also with Knight, again, I feel like you're also very gallant. You're very polite. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys, are very chivalrous as well, regardless of gender. I feel like you guys love to pick up the tab. You love to just show little displays of affection through that. And that's another reason why people fall in love with you, is because you're just so generous. And honestly, it's almost as if you make it so easy for people to fall in love with you. I keep hearing the song, you make it so easy, yeah. I think it's by Philip Phillips, so check that song out. I haven't heard that song since I was like, 12 or 15, I don't know. It's been a long time, you guys. But going forward, we have number 49, We're All Connected, and number 16, Heed the Messengers with a bluebird. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. We were talking about bluebirds over there. So wow, okay. Yeah, you guys are definitely very connected with your ancestors. You're very connected with your spirit guides and ancestors. Again, I said it again. I was going to say patron gods and goddesses, but your ancestors wanted to come out twice. So again, I feel like you guys are really being called to work more with your ancestors too, but honestly, I feel like that's something that people really love about you, is the fact that you're very connected with your lineage. You're very connected with the spiritual side. You're very connected with your patron gods. Now also with Heed the Messengers, again, I feel like you're someone who trusts your instinct and you trust that gut feeling whenever you have it. And I feel like that saved you in so many different areas of your life, right? Where you have trusted yourself and, you have never been let down in regards to that. So maybe it's even this energy of you, whenever you pick up on a red flag nowadays, you're just sort of like, no, next one. That's something that people really fall for you with as well, because they know that you're someone who meticulously looks at their partners before, they make the decision to open up. But once they have your love, I feel like that's kind of it. Again, it's kind of this one and done energy, very, very loyal, very loving. But I feel like maybe you might have haters too that like to just be like, oh, well, they're only for the feeling of falling in love, and they're only for falling in love and just having the emotion that goes with it, and just kind of the lust that goes along with it. But honestly, I feel like those that fall in love with you would stick up for you in a heartbeat, because they know that you're not like that. They know that you're just someone who is genuinely kind, and you're someone who is very just genuine, just very down to earth, very good. I feel like that would be the best word to put it, just good. I keep hearing you are lovely and kind and good, and I feel like that's how they would describe you to people as well. And honestly, maybe you guys really love reading too, because I keep hearing from Jane Eyre, no, sir, I think that you're very pure, sir, and I feel like you're very, what was the saying? It was like, again, you're kind and you're good and you're just a good person. And I can't think of the quote right now. Maybe I'll look it up and I'll leave it on quotations on the actual video. But I feel like that's where you guys are coming from. And I definitely feel like people just see you as someone who is just good overall, right? Someone who's very kind-hearted, good-natured, someone who would give you the shirt off of their back without any expectations of payment or receiving the shirt back even. But you're also very sensual. I feel like you're someone who doesn't mind teasing people. You might be a little bit of a tease. You might be someone who likes when people get a little bit jealous too, and maybe that's also something that people find very attractive about you. It makes them kind of fall in love or fall head over heels madly in love with you because of the fact that you play a little bit hard to get here and there. But with number 49, we are all connected. Yes, you are someone who sees everyone as being connected. Everyone, you know, shares a story, you know, and I feel like you're very interested in understanding where everyone comes from and what their backstory was, what makes them them, what makes them tick, right? And I feel like you'll talk to anyone, you know, I feel like you'll be an open, active audience for anyone that comes your way, because that's just who you are, right? And again, I feel like you're very divinely connected with your spirit guides. Now, going forward onto your next two cards, these are your Animal Totem Tarot cards, and these are talking about if we could sum up why people fall in love with you. We have the Ten of Pentacles with the Star card. You're very hopeful. I feel like, again, you're a beacon of hope. You're a beacon of light in the distance for other people that are struggling as well. You're someone who's very, very encouraging and very contagious in regards to your smile, in regards to your laughter, in regards to just happiness in general, right? I keep hearing the song from Avril Lavigne, so contagious, I cannot get it out of my mind. And I feel like that's the kind of energy of the people that fall in love with you, is that they feel like your laugh is so contagious. They want to laugh, they want to smile, they want to be uplifted just because you're around, just because you are there radiating that positive, beautiful energy. Now, also with the Ten of Pentacles, you're someone who's very successful. Again, you have all of your ducks in a row. You're someone who knows what you want to do long term as well. Some of you guys might already be in college, or maybe you're already in your lifelong career. But I feel like you're someone who has started from the ground, and look at where you are now, right? You went from the ground up, and you're someone who is very successful. You're someone who's very abundant. And even if you aren't, I feel like that's how people view you. That's how people kind of associate you as well. They kind of say, oh, wow, look at Deborah over there just thriving, doing amazing, living that life, making that coin, you know, having a beautiful house or apartment or townhome. You know, there's just this energy of people really looking at you and being in awe, really being proud of you as well. You know, and I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people fall for you too, is because they see you as someone who is very successful and someone who is very family oriented as well. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, you might also have a lot of animals too. You might have a lot of fur babies. Maybe you even have an aquarium in your house, like maybe in your bedroom, or maybe even in like your kitchen or something. I don't know. There's just this energy of having a lot of animals. You might also like to grow your own herbs inside of your kitchen window box. But I just feel like you're someone who is very down to earth and very humble, you know, and someone who loves to be connected with the earth. You might also eat a lot of raw food. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are vegetarians, Poya vegetarians, or maybe even vegans. Now, going forward, we also have the Sun card. Yes, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Chalices, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, why else do people fall in love with you? With the Sun card, again, you are someone who is incredibly happy. You're someone who brings that happiness very much to the surface and makes other people feel that they're happy too. I keep hearing the song, 'Cause I'm happy, right? I just feel like you're someone who is very uplifting and very much someone very fun to be around, right? Notice how we have more roses. We had a rose in the Knight card, and now we have one in the Sun. You know, so I feel like you guys are very passionate. You're very determined. You're very dedicated. Whatever you set your mind to as well, you always accomplish it. Some of you guys are honestly ripped. I mean, like, look at how buff he is. So you guys, like, might be really fit. You might take really good care of yourself. For some of you guys, I'm also hearing that you're, like, slim thick as well. You know, like, you're a little bit, kind of on the thicker side, like a thickums too. And I feel like people really love that about you, because look at the Queen of Chalices here. She looks like voluptuous, she looks thick, and I feel like that's for some of you guys as well, is that people really love that about you, is that honestly, at any size, you are a stunner. You are someone who is gorgeous, honestly. Now, I also want to say some of you guys might have really beautiful full lips. For the guys, you might have a lot of facial hair too. You might have a really long beard, because we do have a lot of beards here. But for the ladies, I also feel like you're someone who just takes very good care of yourself as well, right? Maybe you're someone who prefers to be all natural, to be completely honest. You might not be someone who likes to wear a lot of makeup. You might be someone who likes to just kind of roll out of bed in the day, wash your face, and you're good. You're good. You're ready for the world. For some of you guys, you might also have gotten maybe lash extensions, or maybe even just a lash lip, so then that way you don't have to do your makeup either. And I feel like that's another reason why people fall in love with you, is because there's a simplicity, right? There's this understanding of, well, I'm gonna make my life easier, right? Or I'm gonna work smarter and not harder. You know, I just feel like you guys like the all natural look in general, though. To be honest, I feel like that only refers to a few of you with the eyelash extensions, but I feel like the majority are just all barefaced, you know, and I feel like that's amazing, you know? But going forward, I feel like you have very beautiful skin, though. I feel like you're someone who takes really good care of themselves. You might really love to travel as well. Again, I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you're a botanist, or maybe you just really love flowers, because honestly, we have flowers in all of these cards, and we have more mountains. Maybe you guys live near the mountains. You might live in like Colorado, or maybe you live like somewhere near a national park even. I just feel like there's this energy of people wanting to travel to you, and people wanting to take you out on a nice date, take you out on a lavish date even, because maybe for some of you guys, you're very low maintenance and you don't want people to spend a lot of money on you. Maybe it makes you feel a little bit guilty when people come forward and they're like, hey baby, let me take you to Las Vegas and take you to the 5-star restaurant. We can stay at the most expensive hotel, and we can do and you're just sort of like, no. Like, I can pay my own way, thank you, sir. But I just feel like there's this energy of you maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to grand displays of affection coming your way, but you're very open to showing it to other people, right? But going forward, people really love that about you. Now, also, I feel like you're just someone who's very earthy in general. You might also have Leo somewhere in your chart, maybe some Scorpio. I also feel like with the Queen of Chalices, again, this could be talking about any water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel like you guys are daydreamers as well, and that's another thing people really love about you. And I feel like that also inspires you to get your work done a lot faster when you're feeling inspired, when you're listening to music, when you're getting your day going. You know, I feel like some of you guys as well, I know there's this energy of just putting your hair up in a messy bun and calling it a day, because I feel like you guys are saying, I have other things to do. I have better things to do than to just constantly be worried about my looks, or constantly be worried about when one little hair falls out of place or what have you. You know, there's just this practicality about you guys of, no, I have things I got to do and I got to go right now. For some of you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if you are a parent already. Maybe you're a single mother or a single father. But I definitely feel like you guys are seen as somebody who is an incredible parent, somebody who's very nurturing and loving and very there for their children as well. But I feel like people also fall for you for the simple fact that you're someone who is a little bit of an overthinker. I feel like you love to kind of look into every scenario. You like to make sure that, again, all of your ducks are in a row, that you have everything taken care of. But from time to time, I feel like you can tend to overworry or overthink, and people really love that you put so much thought into things. You might also be the type of person who will call your friend like at 3 a.m. after you guys had like maybe like a little a minor argument or a minor disagreement. Like maybe they were like, oh, I like grapes, and you're like, I hate grapes, don't be my friend. Like, not that extreme, but you know, I just feel like after a few hours, maybe you were just in a little bit of a mood, you write back to them and you're like, hey, I'm really sorry, I'm gonna buy you some grapes. I'm really sorry, I already went online, I bought you 5 pounds of grapes and it's being shipped to your door, and I love you and thank you for being my friend. It's that sort of an energy. So I feel like you always try to find ways to look after people and try to find ways to make things right. You know, and again, I feel like it takes a lot to make you guys angry. It takes a lot to make you guys hold a grudge too. And honestly, I feel like even the times when you feel like you're rude, or you feel like you've been a little bit judgmental or what have you, you really haven't been, right? I feel like your friends and family members are like, wait, you thought that was rude? Right? Like, really? Okay, I'll give you an example. So last night before bed, I said to my boyfriend, I said, babe, you really should get to bed. It's 1 a.m. and, you know, we need to get some sleep. And he said, yeah, that's true. I probably should. And we went to bed. And literally this morning, I said to him, I'm so sorry. I said that. I feel like I was a little bit rude. And he paused and he started laughing and he said, babe, did you think that was rude? That wasn't rude at all. And I just feel like it's that sort of an energy where you're worried, where you're like, oh my gosh, did I say something rude? Did I say something that could potentially come off a little bit lackluster to people as well? You know, but people really love the fact that you're very upfront about that, and the fact that you're someone who will own up to things like that too. Now, going forward, we have the Princess of Wands, the Lovers card, and the Chariot. Again, Cancer. I also feel like with the Lovers, this could be talking about Gemini as well. Now, with the Princess of Wands, beautiful, beautiful card. It talks about someone who is very passionate, someone who is very focused on their dreams, their goals, their ambitions, their aspirations as well. And I feel like that's very much your energy. Now, also with the Lovers card here, you know, you're someone who is very excited about all of the options that come into your life. You're someone who is very excited about different career opportunities. You're someone who is just very excited about putting yourself out there and chasing your passions, chasing your goals. You know, and I feel like you're someone who really likes making decisions for yourself as well, because again, you have a very good head on your shoulders. You know, it's almost as if Spirit is saying like you're someone who is fully equipped for anything that is thrown at you, and that's something that people really fall in love with you for. You know, people really love the fact that you have a good mind to make decisions. You know, it's almost as if you can also provide other people with clarity in regards to what they should be doing too. But for others of you, I also feel like maybe you're someone who loves to go horseback riding. Maybe you're someone, because look, we have a horse here, we have a lady riding her reindeer here. You know, I just feel like there's this energy of maybe you guys grew up horseback riding, maybe you grew up on a farm or on a ranch, or maybe you even went to like summer school where you did that. But I did want to mention it. Now, also with the Chariot card here, this is the first time I'm noticing, but there's literal unicorns in the background here. And I feel like people that fall in love with you, Stack 3, it's because they see that you're someone who is so out of this world and so ethereal, so otherworldly, to be completely honest. They see you as someone who's very magical, very dedicated, very determined, you know, and someone who's very ambitious too, to be completely honest, very strong. But with the Chariot, even though you're progressing very fast, you know, and people see you making money moves and see you really taking care of yourself, and they fall in love with you for that, I feel like people also really love the fact that, you know, you stay balanced while you're moving forward at such a breakneck speed. The fact that you pace yourself, right? So why do people fall in love with you, Stack 3? Because you're very generous, you're very kind, you're very happy as well. You're very optimistic. I feel like you're someone who always sees the glass as half full. And you're just someone who, you know, understands how to make other people feel better, too. You're someone who knows how to cause someone to have a really good day. I keep thinking of this one quote of, perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. And I feel like that's the energy that we have here for you guys, is that you guys are perpetually optimistic and understanding and loving. And that's what people really fall in love with you for. You're also someone who has a lot of depth to you as well. You're someone who is a little bit mysterious from time to time. So again, Scorpio vibes. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are, you know, maybe have some Scorpio placements in your chart as well that make you a little bit mysterious or make you a little bit hard to get to know from time to time. But the people that do get to know you and that kind of put the time in to really understand you really love your emotional sensitivity and really love the fact that you're very upfront with your emotions as well. They just find that so gorgeous, right? But definitely let me know in the comments down below if this resonated with you guys. Oh my goodness, you guys are so beautiful. I just love this pile. It is such a healthy pile. It just feels so forthcoming and so kind. I just love it, right? But I hope you guys are doing amazing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to press the like button. Also, make sure to press subscribe if you have not already, and press that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. And I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health. If you want to have a personal reading with me, the links are in the description box down below for my Etsy and my personal shop. Now, also on my website, I also do horoscopes for the new moon and the full moon, as well as on my Tumblr. So the links to my website and my Tumblr will be down below. That's just kind of free content that I wanted to put out for you guys because I thought it would be really awesome. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing amazing, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked Stack 4. Let's get right into your reading and see why do people fall for you. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the pink bow. I definitely feel like you guys are very true to yourself, very gracious, very honest, very forthcoming, very loving as well. Very unconditionally loving too. I feel like you guys are the type to forgive and forget and to just kind of bring people back into your life, to be completely honest. You're just very understanding, very caring, very compassionate. And I feel like you're someone who gives people multiple chances. You're someone who also is in the belief of innocent until proven guilty as well. So you always give people a fighting chance. You always try to find the good in people as well. And that's something that's very attractive right off the bat. Now, for a lot of you guys as well, I feel like you have this look about you where maybe you have like really big, beautiful eyes and really full lips. And I feel like that's something that really draws people in as well. You might even have a cute little nose, you know, or something that they kind of want to pinch. And I feel like that's something that also draws people in, is your looks, is you look very cute, very adorable, regardless of gender. You just just look adorable, right? You guys are a cinnamon roll. Let me just put that out there. Some of you guys might be bisexual, pansexual. You might also be transgender as well, just because of the colors on this card. I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, also, I feel like you guys really love fandoms as well, and you love wearing clothes that are associated with the things that you like as well. And that's what really causes people to fall in love with you as well, is the fact that you show everything that you like. Maybe you're someone who isn't afraid to wear a Harry Potter outfit out in public, or maybe you're someone who cosplays, maybe you're someone who reads comic books, or maybe even graphic novels, maybe you read manga, maybe you watch anime. There's just this energy of being very true to yourself and honoring the things that you personally love. Some of you guys might also be really big into K-pop as well, and maybe there's this kind of K-pop theme to your kind of aesthetic. Maybe you do makeup that is reminiscent of a lot of K-pop stars, or maybe you have learned online through different videos on how to do your makeup like them. I just feel like there's this energy of really being into fandom and really wanting to connect with other people that also have the same common interests and things that you love. And that's why people really fall for you, is because you're very upfront with the things you like, and it makes it easier to talk to you, to be completely honest. I wouldn't even be surprised if, like, you wear, let's say, an Attack on Titan t-shirt out in public, and then people just run up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, I love your shirt. And that's a really wonderful conversation starter. And maybe that's also why you wear it. For some of you guys, maybe you wear like old school stuff, like the Buffy the Vampire, like hair comb, or, there's just energies like that. So I feel like you guys are very truthful to yourself and very honest in your fashion and the way that you express yourself. And I feel like that's something that people notice right off the bat, and something that people find very admirable too, is the fact that you can be true to yourself. Now, going forward, I also want to say that you guys might also be very big time Disney fans too. So maybe you wear a lot of Disney outfits. Maybe you do like Disney bounding, where you decide to dress up as a character indirectly and then go out. And I feel like that's something that people also find very alluring and very cute and very sweet about you, is that you are very connected with your inner child, and you're very connected with what makes you happy. You know what makes you happy, and you go and do it. And I just feel like that's such an inspiration to everyone around you, so they don't feel bogged down to this, you have to be an adult, you have to like these things. Like, you're someone who comes in and you're like, you can like whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're being happy. It's that sort of an energy. It's very open, it's very loving, it's very kind of free for all, I guess. You're very open, and I feel like that's something that people really love about you. You also have a really great sense of humor too. For some of you guys, you might also be very busty in your chest area, and for the guys, maybe you have like a six-pack, or like you're really buff. I just feel like there's this energy of you having like a large chest, or maybe even broad shoulders, and that's something that people really notice about you right off the bat, and they really, really like, right? And it's really funny, because for some of you guys, you might be saying, oh, I hate my broad shoulders, but that's actually one of the reasons why people find you so alluring, is because you have these really incredible broad shoulders. And I feel like this is oddly specific, but it holds up your tank tops very nicely, like your spaghetti straps or your wife beater tops. Like, it's that sort of an energy of, it holds things up nice. You have nice collarbones, you have nice structure on your body, and that's something that people notice right off the bat. Now, also, I feel like a lot of people know that you have been through a lot of trials and tribulations. They know that you have been through a lot that has kind of changed you and made you go through a metamorphosis and a transformation, but it has made you smarter, it has made you wiser, it has made you more mature, it has made you kinder as well. There's just this energy of everything that you went through was actually a blessing in disguise. Notice how we have these pearls here, and pearls come about after a period of discomfort for the clam or the oyster. The kind of inside animal pushes around the sand or the trapped, maybe even dirt as well. Pushes it around until one day it forms this beautiful pearl. Now, the oyster is going to think, oh, this is disgusting. I'm living in my shell with this infection. But, someone comes along and they open it up and they say, wow, that's a beautiful pearl. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that we have here, is that you guys are really good at looking at things from a different perspective and saying, well, no, look, here's the silver lining. This is how it actually ended up good. You're very good at finding the moral in the story as well. And maybe that was something you were also very good at growing up. I feel like you guys had a lot of people crushing on you when you were growing up, to be completely honest. I'm just going to throw that out there. For a lot of you guys in general, though, I feel like you have a lot of admirers. but I feel like for the most part, you kind of gloss over them. It's almost as if you don't even notice that they're there, or you just become kind of oblivious to it. You just kind of like, ooh, I'm a crab, and you just kind of toddle away. And meanwhile, all these oysters are just like, hey, I'm interested over here. I'm over here. And it's like, no, I'll just look over here. I'll distract myself with something else, you know? And I feel like for some of you guys, your obliviousness to love at times is very, very admirable, and that's another thing that people really love. I keep also hearing the song, you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. So I feel like you guys really are very humble. You know, maybe you guys, whenever you get compliments as well, you're like, no, that's not me, you know, and people really kind of love that about you, the fact that you're humble. But I feel like people also want you to accept those compliments more, right? Because you are someone who is absolutely incredible. Now, also, I do want to say that from time to time, I feel like you can tend to be a little bit sensitive because crabs need to molt every now and again. They need to shed their old skin and they need to step into something new. But to be able to grow out that hard exoskeleton again, they have to be mushy and they have to be soft and they have to be vulnerable to the rest of the world. And I feel like you guys went through a period of time where you had to be vulnerable, where you had to let your guard down, where you had to really step into and transition into the person you were meant to be. You know, so for some of you guys, there was almost this energy of coming out of, you know, this phase in your life where maybe you put yourself down or you didn't understand yourself, and glowing up and really loving yourself, embracing the things you love as well. You know, maybe for some of you guys, the things that were deemed nerdy or the things that were deemed uncool as a child or even in adolescence are now very neat and very trendy and very cool and very hip, you know? So I feel like you guys are feeling more comfortable to express yourself and to say, yes, this is who I am. I love Deadpool comic books. You know, it's that sort of a vibe. But I definitely feel like you guys are also very spiritual. And that's another reason people fall for you. I feel like people understand that you're very connected with Source and very connected with your patron gods and goddesses. And that's something that inspires them to do the same. For some of you guys, you're literally tarot readers and people might come to you, especially your crushes. But I also feel like maybe people do like pick a cards on you guys as well. That's just kind of a side message. But going forward, people really love the fact that you're emotionally vulnerable though, and that you're very open to your sensitivities and expressing yourself, expressing your emotions, and expressing your love. I feel like that's something that is really important to people. Also, I want to say that you're someone who is very resilient because the crab can always regenerate his limbs. And I feel like with you guys, you know, you're someone who can always regenerate yourself. You're someone who can always start over fresh and say, okay, well, I'm not aligned with myself. I'm going to get right back in there and say, hey, how am I going to be the best Tiffany I can be today, you know? And I feel like there's just this energy of really understanding yourself, taking mental inventory and saying, am I being true to myself? Am I aligning with what I know is correct for me? And then adjusting as you go, right? But there's definitely this energy of, you know, you understanding too about what it would be that would make you happy and what would make you feel content and secure in life as well. Now, going forward, I also want to say really quick too that you guys might be a little bit moody from time to time just with the kind of waves down here with the water element. I just wanted to mention it, but I feel like that's something people really love as well. I feel like people really just love the fact that you're very open in expressing your emotions, and that's something they find very, very beautiful. Now, going on to your next two cards, we have number 44, Generosity, and number 2, Archangel Raphael. Wow, so you guys are healers. You might be into yoga. You might be into, what is that called? Aerobics? Yeah, aerobics. I don't know why I was picking up on that. But also with number 44, Generosity, the number 44 is the number 8, which talks about fast forward movement. You're an adventurer. You're someone who is very excited to go on to the next goal, the next ambition. You're someone who also likes to water those around you. You love to take care of the people that you love. You love to nurture and heal those around you as well. I feel like there's nothing you wouldn't do for the people that you care about, and that's another thing that people really fall in love with you for. I feel like you're also very healing when people are sick. You know, it's almost like you want to stay around, you want to make them soup, you want to put a cold cloth on their head, you want to tuck them in at night. You know, it's just a very nurturing, very motherly energy energy, regardless of gender. Now, also with generosity, again, you want to give others gifts, you want to give others your time as well. Maybe in the past too, you tend to put your time towards people who didn't necessarily deserve it. And I feel like nowadays you're really starting to learn how to put up healthy boundaries, you know? And I feel like that's another thing that people really love about you. I also feel like you're incredibly outspoken, to be completely honest. You know, you're not shy about expressing your feelings or your thoughts, and sometimes you can come off a little bit blunt, and that's something that people really fall in love with you for too. Because it's kind of funny, to be honest, is that you come in and maybe you're dressed all cute and you look really nice, and then you're just sort of like, hey, I'm not putting up with this, and they just find it so funny. It just tickles them, right? Now, going forward with number 2, Archangel Raphael, this is the healing archangel, so you guys could be working very closely with Archangel Raphael. You guys could be very spiritual as well. And I feel like that's something that people really love about you and really fall in love with you for. But you're also very balanced. You're very balanced between your worldly aspects and your spiritual aspects as well. And that's something that people really appreciate. You're also very balanced between your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies, which is why it's so easy for you to go from determined to nurturing and soft and patient, you know, and then switch back into full gear adventurer, you know. It's very easy. It comes second nature for you guys. I also feel like for some of you guys, maybe you are streamers, maybe you love to play video games, maybe you are maybe someone who wants to make that your full-time career as well. For others of you, maybe you do like a form of role play online, or maybe you're an author or a writer, and I feel like that's something that you could definitely make money on. Now, also, I feel like Spirit is wanting you to really put your thoughts out there. Some of you guys could literally be bloggers or be maybe social media activists as well. There's just this energy of you putting yourself out there and really expressing your opinions, expressing your feelings and your thoughts, and people really loving you for that as well. Being in the background going, yes, queen, you know, just being so proud of you. Now, also with Archangel Raphael, though, I definitely feel like you are someone who is very healing. You might be someone who works with singing bowls. You might be someone who meditates as well. Maybe you post about meditations that you've done. Maybe you post about different healings that you go to. Maybe you're someone who is in physical therapy as well. It could be for some of you guys, this is going to be like very specific, a very specific message. If you've been in a car crash or something similar, you know, maybe even where you got hurt, maybe you fell and like hurt your back or something, there's this energy of you going through physical therapy. And that's another thing that people really love about you, is that you constantly keep pushing forward, even when you feel as if everything else in your life isn't going right or isn't going the way that you planned. Even if you feel like things have been kind of unfair, you just keep moving on. You just keep pushing forward. You just keep staying resilient. And that's something that people really love about you. Again, that regenerative sort of an energy with the crab again. You know, you're someone who can just regenerate. You're like, oh, well, whatever. I'll just keep moving, you know? And I feel like that's really your energy in a nutshell. Now, going forward onto your next 3 cards, we have Lady, Air Guardian, and Protection Guardian. Beautiful. So again, you know, I feel like with Protection Guardian, drop your shields. Not only are you very protective of the people that you love and of yourself, especially of the things that you love, like your fandoms, you know, the interests that you hold as well. You know, I feel like if someone came up to you and they're like, haha, you're knitting, you're a grandma, you know, I feel like you'd know exactly what to say. You'd be like, swerve, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. You know, and I feel like that's something that people really love about you as well. Again, the fact that you can speak up for yourself and the fact that you can say, I'm sorry, this conversation does nothing for me. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. I'm leaving. You know, and I feel like people really love that about you, and that's what makes them also fall in love. Again, is how blunt you are. I know I keep saying it, but it's so true. For some of you guys, you might have like really curly, beautiful hair, like kind of like an afro. Also, other people might have a nose piercing or might have an eyebrow piercing as well. You might also just really do your makeup very good. You might do your eyebrows on fleek. You know, for some of you guys, you might also have brown/hazel eyes or maybe even just straight blue eyes. And that's something that people find very striking. But you're someone who doesn't mind putting in the time and work into your goals and into your ambitions. And that's another reason why people really fall in love with you, right? We notice that the lady has apples here. And apples talk about, yes, it takes a long time for the apple tree to actually bear a fruit. It takes about 5 years of patience and love and care and the perfect shade and the perfect water, all leading up to this moment and culminating to form this beautiful apple. And I feel like that's the same energy for you guys, is that it's taken a long time, but you are where you were always meant to be. For some of you guys, you might also really love wearing hoop earrings. You might also just love wearing earrings in general, or maybe even these arm bands. But going forward with Lady, it says enjoy growth and reap rewards. Yeah, and when you put yourself out there, you're always successful. It's almost like you have the Midas touch, and that's another thing people really fall in love with, is the fact that you always trust your endeavors, you trust yourself, you trust that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to, and sure enough it does, right? But it's all because you trust in yourself and you have faith in yourself. You understand that you're going to get to that next level. Also, some of you guys might wear a hijab or a niqab, and I feel like that's also something that people find very, very beautiful. I feel like you're someone who maybe pairs like pinks together, or pinks and purples, and I feel like that's something that people just find so gorgeous. But going forward, I do want to say also that some of you guys are really good at contouring too, and that's something that people notice like right off the bat online, is that you take really nice photos. It's either really good lighting or really good contour, but I did want to throw that out there, maybe both. But I definitely feel like you guys very much look very, very nice all the time. You know, on fleek, you guys just look 100%. You look like $1,000,000. Now going forward, we have number 45, time to ground. Now the number 45 is talking all about the number 9. You know, and this talks all about spirituality. Oh, wait, I just realized that I didn't even cover Air Guardian. That's interesting. Maybe some of you guys, when you're excited and you're really into something, maybe you just kind of jump the gun very quick. And that's another thing that people really find attractive about you as well. Again, kind of like a kid going to Disney for the first time, just excitable, just full of life, full of energy, you know, looking at the world as if it was the first time that you were seeing it. And that's something that people really love about you. Now, we also have Air Guardian, shift your perception. So again, you're someone who sees things from a different perspective. You know, I feel like you're someone who has a really neat way of looking at the world too. Like you have a lot of different beliefs, you have a lot of different morals, or a lot of different standards that you hold yourself to nowadays. You know, and I feel like that's really awesome. You know, you have really worked hard on your boundaries, you've worked hard on yourself, and you've worked hard on establishing, you know, firm kind of boundaries and limits with people, where you've said, hey, this is what I feel comfortable with and this is what I don't. You know, don't test me, don't try to come over my boundary line, because that's going to be very disrespectful and I'm not going to hear about it, right? But again, with number 24, let two become one, you're definitely connected with your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies. A lot of people see you as the perfect partner too, because of the fact that you're very fluid within your divine masculine and your divine feminine. You're someone who doesn't mind being the little spoon one night and then being the big spoon the next night. You know, you're someone who doesn't mind cuddling your partner and holding them and caressing them and taking care of them, right? You know, I feel like you guys don't mind being protective either. You know, I feel like you guys, honestly, even with Protection Guardian, you love to protect the people that you care about. You love to let the people around you know that you care about them, right? Again, I feel like you guys have such beautiful eyes and such beautiful round full lips as well. So going forward onto your next 3 cards, these are your Animal Totem Tarot cards, and these are talking all about if we could sum you up into 3 cards and why people fall for you. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Fool card. Yes! Okay, so right off the bat, slow and steady wins the race. With the 9 of Pentacles, you're someone who's very patient, very meticulous. You might have earth signs somewhere in your chart, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. You don't have to, but I did want to say that just because that's sort of the energy we're getting here with the meticulousness, someone who's very practical, very resourceful, very down to earth, very humble, but also with the 6 of Pentacles here, I feel like there's this energy of being very generous, being very forthcoming, very understanding. You know, you don't mind sharing your riches with other people. I feel like there's this energy where you come forward saying, if I didn't share my riches with other people, wouldn't life be rather boring? You know, if I was the only one that was succeeding, I was the only one that was happy, wouldn't that be very boring? And maybe that's something that makes people fall in love with you as well, is that, you know, maybe they have an overdraft fee in their bank and you're the first person that immediately contacts them and says, hey, I'll give you the $7 so you're not overdrafted. You know, it's that sort of an energy. I just feel like, you know, you guys are very forthcoming with every aspect of your life, with your time, with your money, with your energy, with your patience. And that's something that people find very admirable about you, and something that they really can't help but find themselves falling in love with you over. Now, also with the Fool card, you're someone who jumps into action. You're someone who is very excitable. Again, a lot like a child, just jumping into something new, feeling very excited, having that very bubbly attitude. It kind of reminds me of popcorn as well, you know, kind of popcorn bubbling up and, you know, kind of going all over. There's also a K-pop song called Popcorn, so maybe look that up. Maybe that resonates with some of you guys. But I definitely feel like people fall in love with you because you're very generous. You cooperate really good too. You're someone who is all about teamwork, helping others, team building as well. Teamwork makes the dream work. Maybe you guys literally work in like healthcare as well, or somewhere where you have to work with a bunch of different people. Maybe you're an animator. I don't know, but I feel like there's this energy of you really working well with others. Yeah, and you being very generous. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Chalices, the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Chalices, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so right off the bat with two sixes here, sixes are talking about abundance, abundance in happiness, in love, in friendship, in family, in stability, anything, you name it. But honestly, I feel like you guys are very successful. You're very abundant in regards to your finances, and you love to share with other people, even if you're not financially successful or abundant. You know, I feel like you're someone who still shares the wealth. You still are someone who distributes within your family, within your friend group, within just your circles in general, right? I also feel like you're someone who daydreams a lot. Maybe you're someone who is a hopeless romantic at heart. Maybe you love to post on your Snapchat or on your Instagram or Facebook, like scenes from The Notebook or scenes from Moulin Rouge, and you just sort of like, yes, I love these romance movies. I wish it would happen to me. Douglas, write to me a love letter. You know, and I feel like that's sort of your social media, and people really love that about you. I feel like they think of you as, I keep being shown this beautiful white fluffy puppy, you know, just like so soft, like a little Yorkie. And I feel like that's you guys' energy, that you're just so pure. You are someone who is so kind and so warm and so fluffy and so cuddly, right? And I feel like you're also someone who's very excitable, very loyal. You could be the absolute perfect best friend too. You know, I feel like anywhere that you go, you can make it a good time because you can laugh at everything. And honestly, I feel like you do. I feel like you try to make jokes out of a lot of different things, and that's another reason why people really fall in love with you as well, is because you can tend to be a little bit of a class clown. I also feel like you love to think outside of the box in regards to hairstyles too. So for some of you guys, you might try up different braiding techniques. You might try different ways of putting your hair into buns, you know, maybe looking online at DIYs or like maybe even hair videos. And maybe that's something that you really love to look at on social media. Maybe this is one of the things that people really love about you, as well as the fact that you are so individual with your style and with the way that you style your hair and with the way that you have your aesthetic in general. But with the Five of Pentacles, people can definitely understand, you know, and respect and love and cherish the fact that you haven't always been appreciated, right? But now you're stepping up for yourself. You know, I feel like when people didn't treat you right, you focused on your money, you focused on your studies, you focused on things that would benefit your life. And that's something that people would really want to congratulate you on, and something that people that fall in love with you know, that's something that they really, really notice right off the bat, is how resilient you are, is how dedicated you are to yourself, and, you know, how you haven't always had it easy, but you've always made the best out of any situation. And I just feel like that speaks volumes, you guys, right? Now, also with the Two of Chalices and the Queen of Swords, now, with the Two of Chalices and the Queen of Swords, you know, this is definitely talking about those partnership vibes, those that fall in love with you. It's because they see you as the perfect partner. Again, partners in crime, right? You're someone who's very balanced. You're someone who's very loving. You're someone who is very, very generous in regards to a relationship. And it's so funny because maybe this is how you appear to the regular world, is the Queen of Swords. You know, and someone who's just kind of doing their own thing, very blunt, very truthful, very honest, kind of cutthroat. But at the end of the day, you know, you're someone who's very romantic. You know, you're someone who is very daydreamy as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have Pisces somewhere in your chart as well. But with the Two of Chalices here, you know, this definitely talks about people seeing you as the perfect partner, as the ideal person to spend the rest of their life with. So it's almost like you're the person that you can bring home to mom, I guess would be the best way to put it. But going forward with the Queen of Swords too, you're someone who is very competitive from time to time. You also have very good boundaries. Again, Queen of Swords confirms that, but it also confirms the fact that you can be a little bit cutthroat with your words, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is coming forward in a why people fall for you reading. So it is one of the reasons why people are so enamored by you, right? I feel like people really appreciate the fact that you can speak your mind and you can speak it without any regard for the situation or trying to manipulate the situation, right? You're just going to say what's on your mind and you're going to say the truth. And that's something that people really respect about you. Now, also, I feel like you're someone who believes in quality over quantity, and maybe that's something that people have noticed as well, is that you have a few really, really close friends, but then you keep people at kind of an arm's distance. And it's not to say that you are rude or impolite or impersonal with people, because you're not. Honestly, I feel like you are so great with people. Again, you're very cooperative. You want to work with people. You want to help people, you know, but I also, because I mean, honestly, some of you guys might be working in the field of helping people, but there's genuinely this energy of you just kind of doing your own thing and not telling everyone your business. And I really like that. It's a very independent energy. It's someone who is very self-sufficient. So I don't feel like it's bad at all. I feel like you guys are just very protective of yourself. Again, with Protection Guardian, drop your shields. You're protecting yourself. You know, maybe you guys have been hurt in the past before, especially since we do have the Five of Pentacles. This can be literally talking about being ghosted, being shut out in the cold, you know, being treated poorly by the people around us, being locked out, you know, so it's that sort of an energy. Maybe some of you guys had to grow up very fast as well. Maybe you had to move out at a young age. Maybe there was this energy too of some of you guys, you know, maybe even having to move out of a house that you were sharing with a partner. Maybe it was a very toxic relationship, but that only kind of confirmed in your mind what it was that you were looking for and what it was that you were going to have, and you're not going to settle for less. And that's what I love about the Queen of Swords coming after the Two of Chalices, is like you're no longer going to settle for the Five of Pentacles. Your eyesight is only on the Two of Chalices. And look, they're both looking at the Two of Chalices here, you know, so I definitely feel like Spirit is saying, you know, that you guys are in it for the long haul. You're not in it for a good time. You're in it for a long time, right? But going forward onto your closing messages, we have the Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Hearts, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so you guys are very practical with the King of Pentacles here. You guys are very resourceful, very good with money, very good with finances in general, maybe even very studious too. I feel like you guys might even have Taurus in your chart as well, but with the Seven of Hearts and the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you guys have really been stepping into this period of good luck in your life, those that pick this pile, and that's why people are also really kind of falling for you, because they're noticing how your perception is changing even more, how you're starting to get more and more and more and more and more optimistic every single day about the positive changes that are coming your way, right? But they also are noticing that you're becoming more comfortable with showing yourself, you know, posting pictures of yourself as well. Maybe for others, you're opening a brand new social media account, and a lot of people are going to take notice of that, and that's how you're going to kind of get recognition from a lot of people that are in love with you. But also with the Seven of Hearts here, this is suitors up to wazoo. This is so many options. It could be that there's a lot of people coming your way and be like, hey baby, you want to go out? And you're just sort of like, ugh, I don't know who to go out with, you know. And maybe you see it more as work than anything else with the Ten of Wands here, but you guys are willing to put in the work for a good relationship, for a healthy relationship. And honestly, it doesn't look like you lack for options any stack 4. But I do want to say that you guys are a little bit oblivious to it. You notice how there's all these hearts coming to her, and she just kind of looks like, what are those? And I feel like maybe that's you guys' energy, which I totally relate to. That was me for the longest time, so I can definitely relate. Just like, what are these offers? Are these offers? What are these? Are these butterflies? And, you know, not understanding, but you know, I feel like Spirit is saying, take a good hard look, and a lot of people in your life are really crushing on you, you guys, and it's because you're such a good individual. You're so kind-hearted, and you're so sweet. So, in closing, why do people fall for you? So, the reasons why people fall in love with you, too long didn't read, is because you are someone who is hardworking. You're someone who is courageous, brave. You are someone who is outspoken as well. You can be a little bit blunt and sarcastic with your words, but that's part of your charm. That's part of the reason why people really love you, and they love talking with you. I feel like you have a playful banter with everyone that you meet and everyone that you talk to, which really encourages others. Notice all the peacock imagery as well. Some of you guys are just incredibly gorgeous, since we are seeing peacocks here, but I also feel like, you know, a lot of people really love how loud you can get as well. Maybe some of you guys have a very loud voice. You know, maybe you guys are just like, here I am, I'm right over here, and that's something that people really love about you. And what else would be a reason why someone else would fall for you? Because you're practical, because you're resourceful, because you have a good head on your shoulders, because you're an incredible decision maker, because you're someone who picks yourself up during hard times and you grow from it and you learn from it and you get better genuinely. Now also I want to say that you're very patient. You're someone who's very meticulous. You take your time. You're studious. You know, you're a team player. You're a cooperative human being, I guess would be the best way to put it. But yeah, you're just someone who is so incredible and so intelligent as well. You know, you're someone who's very witty, you know a lot of trivia, and I feel like that's another reason why people fall in love with you. So definitely let me know in the comments down below if this resonated, my darlings. I love to read you guys' comments so much. It really makes my day so much better. But I hope you guys are doing amazing and you like this. If you did like this, you can leave a little like right under the video and make sure to press subscribe if you have not already, and press that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. And I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health. I also want to say really quick that all of my links will be in the description box down below if you want to have a personal reading with me. Now I also will be leaving links down below for not only my website but my Tumblr too. I offer free horoscope readings for the full moon and the new moon of every month. It's just kind of a wonderful way to kind of give back to you guys, because I really love you guys and I want you guys to be prepared for the upcoming months. I'm also going to start doing horoscopes again on my channel, just because I know you guys have been wanting to see them. So I'm so excited to get back into them. Oh my goodness. So I hope you guys are doing amazing though and staying in good health, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!